Things were upside down and backwards at the start of our previous GNCC, but it sure looked good for defending series champ Bill Balance, who outdueled Adam McGill, who take a dramatic victory, his first of the season. Now the champ wants back on top of the points race. The Bill Balance comeback continues.
Playing in the dirt, face full of mud, sacrificing flesh and blood. Playing in the dirt, digging in the ground. All I'm asking you, where you gonna be when it all goes down, 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 down?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to Racer TV and the 2009 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. I'm your host, Jason Wygant. Today, we're back in Tennessee. We had a great race the last time we raced there at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. Today, it's the Weekend Warrior Titan Grand National Cross Country event. Series points leader Chris Borich ran into problems the last time we raced. He broke a drivetrain, and that opened the door for who else? 9-time and defending series champion Bill Balance. He returned triumphantly to victory lane in our last race. This is the kind of break Bill needs. Remember, he started the year off battling cancer, yes, so he's way back on points. But after that win last time out and a little momentum, he hopes to get in victory lane again and march all the way back to the top of the series standings. Can he do it? Let's talk to some of our contenders before we go racing.
Yeah, it's a big survival game out here, especially when it gets wet. You got to prep the bikes totally different, and when you come out here like this, big hand guards, big tires, lots of duct tape, and Walmart loves us because we go there and buy all their boots. So I mean, it's one of them things where you just suck it up and ride. Can't really do anything about it. Just put up with the conditions and just keep going through it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some rain here today. I'm from Ohio. We get a lot of rain up there, so I'm kind of excited. It's a little scary because a lot of things can happen in the mud, but I know either way it's going to be a lot of fun out there, so I'm excited, and hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to have just won my first race of the season. We're here in Kentucky, and conditions are kind of slimy and slick where it's been raining so much, but we're looking to get out there and start our win streak from Loretta's and just keep that going. And you know, the Yamaha's working great. It's bulletproof. It's we've tested it in conditions like this, so going to be pretty confident in the quad and that it makes it through the day. So it's all up to me to just get out there and do what I need to do. Be smart. I don't think the fastest guy is going to win today, but definitely need to try to play it smart and try to make it all the way to the finish line. That's what it's going to take, and just to get through the race with no problems, not get hung in any bottlenecks or something like that. But we're looking to try to start that win streak and get it back into points and get caught up with the guys again.
Well, we are set for what should be a knockdown, drag-out battle. Not only do you have Borich losing the points lead, trying to come back, Balance back on top, his teammate Brandon Summers looking strong, but you've also got Taylor Kaiser and Adam McGill right there in the championship hunt. Lots of contenders and lots of rain to deal with here. This is the type of race where a championship could be thrown away. Let's see how the guys handle it and go down to the starting line. Okay, like we said, a little bit of rain here will be our first mud race of the year for the four-wheeled set. Brian Cook does not look too happy about that, but Johnny Gallagher does. He's a mud specialist. And Taylor Kaiser, he's from Florida. He's used to riding in the rain. But the big factor today, you've just got to get to the finish before you can finish first. These conditions will wreak havoc on the riders and the equipment. And getting a good start is key to staying clean. Here we go into the first turn. It's a wide first turn, but it looks like Kaiser bumping wheels. No, it's Jared McClure on the ATVRiders.com privateer machine gets the start and then goes wide in turn 2. And Kaiser eventually does end up in the number 1 spot with Dwayne the Rock Johnson right behind him. And there's Balance off in third. So Balance has definitely turned his starts around. And for the rest of those guys back there, like Cook you saw go by, they are going to get covered. And this is what's tough. Lots of off cambers, ups and downs, and very slippery conditions. This will be tough. There is Borich coming through, and the rest of these guys, good luck on even figuring out who's who. They are completely covered, and a rider hung up there, Jeff Pickens, and McGill had to ride over a log to get around him. Look at how hard Pickens has to work. Not too shabby. Managed to hold off Santo DeRisi. There's Chris Bithell with a bad start, and this is how dangerous it's back there. 784, that's Gallagher. William Yoakley goes by, and the number 11 of Ryan Lane. There's Brian Cook on the 5, way back. So those guys are going to be eating mud all day long while Kaiser gets some lines pointed out to him by some fans. And he looks good. Look at him riding up the waterfall, one of the more spectacular obstacles you're going to see this year. Brent Sturdivant second place on his Warner Can-Am. Then here comes Balance. Took an uphill whoop section with water running down it. Summers comes through in fourth. And then the two of Boric. And I think Boric is going to just try to play it smart today. Other riders might take the opportunity to win this thing as we watch Dwayne Johnson and Don Ackerman go by. But Boric and McGill here, they are going for the championship. So they've got to think, as McGill tells us every week, big picture. And you see they're very careful through these deep water holes to not drown their machines out. You hit that thing hard one time, your hands get slippery. How about this? Sturdivant in the lead. No goggles. He doesn't care. He keeps his head down. He's charging. Now it's Balance through next. So Kaiser has lost some ground, and things will change like this very quickly in these muddy conditions. There's Balance in the Yamaha pit, already taking on some fresh Scott goggles. Smart move by the champ. Now deep in the forest. No goggles for Sturdivant, so he'll pull away from Balance time-wise, but this is going to be awfully tough. Even without riders in front of you roosting you, you're going to take some mud in the eyes. 783 of Summers coming through next. Very strong in the mud. You heard him mention at the top of the show in Ohio they get plenty of this. And look at the excellent throttle and clutch control needed to prevent the wheel spin and get to the top of this hill. Boric just pinning it to the top of that. And other riders finding another line at the top of the track. Wait a minute. That's beyond 25 feet off of the course. But in a mud race, sometimes you got to do that. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and Honda Generators, the official generator of Racer TV. Back to the action here. The Weekend Warrior Titan GNCC. These are some tough four-wheeled ATV riders. Look at the muddy conditions. Brent Sturdivant in the lead here, second place. Brandon Summers, and now up to third, our series leader, Chris Boric on the Rockstar, Yoshimura Suzuki. And then fourth is his title rival, Adam McGill. Don Ackerman coming through in fifth. And despite the mud, these guys are still battling it out. It's still very close. Sturdivant, best run of the season for him by far. This kid out of Montrose, West Virginia, not afraid to let it hang out. Consistency has been an issue, but speed has not today. Well, that speed is back. Look at the fans pointing out the good lines. There goes McGill, Ackerman to the top. Boric right in front of him. We'll get back to this wild action in a minute, but it's time for the Rocky Mountain Spotlight. When you choose Rocky Mountain ATV MC, you're choosing the best. Their customer is priority one. They've grown and expanded to serve their customers and be the best in the off-road industry with fast shipping, the lowest prices, and second-to-none customer service. Here are just a few things to expect when you buy from Rocky Mountain ATV MC. First, quick and accurate shipping. Most orders ship same day and arrive on your doorstep within 2 to 4 business days. And to top it off, shipping is free on orders over $99 in the continental U.S. There's also no sales tax for customers outside of Utah. Match that with the lowest prices around. Rocky Mountain ATV MC is constantly on the prowl, checking the competition's pricing to make sure Rocky Mountain is the best value and your first choice. And of course, there's customer service with a smile. Rocky Mountain ATV MC is here to serve you. They take pride in putting their customers' questions and needs first. Get instructions and advice from their technicians by calling or going online and clicking the technical support chat. See online videos of products being installed and find service manuals to help you tackle your next project. When you buy from Rocky Mountain ATV MC, you have a lifetime technician in your corner. There's also a huge inventory of in-stock items. Rocky Mountain ATV MC carries all the popular name brands and stocks them in a large warehouse, so when you order, it's ready to go. And there's thousands of products. Rocky Mountain ATV MC carries thousands of parts ready to be your one-stop source, and new products are being added every day. So give Rocky Mountain ATV MC a try today by visiting their website. It's RockyMountainATVMC.com or call 1-800-272-6329 to request a free catalog. Brent Sturdivant continues to lead here. finding some dry ground on the hillsides and plenty of mud in the valleys. Looks strong so far. And here's Johnny Gallagher up to the number 2 spot. We told you at the beginning of the show, smiling when it was raining. He's strong in the mud. McGill still in 3rd, then Boric, Ackerman, and Kaiser. And we do not see balance up front this time. He would have to mount one heck of a come-from-behind charge to get to these guys. And now McGill in the lead as we hit the deep river crossing, and they practically have to idle through that in first gear. If you hit it too hard, you get your gloves all wet and possibly stall the machine. Sturdivant still in 2nd. Then it is Ackerman and Gallagher. Look at the guys battling for that points lead. Boric and Kaiser there taking it more caution than anyone. But it'll change as the race goes on. You can talk about points when the day begins, but if you're close to the lead later in the event, they're going to go for it. And that's what McGill's trying to do right now. He'll try to put some time between himself and the rest of this field, but this is going to get interesting. It looks like everyone has decided to go into the pits. McGill, Sturdivant, Gallagher, Boric, Kaiser, Summers, everybody, Ackerman as well. This is craziness. Now there you see the 784 and 783, they're pitting. And look at, Ackerman at the top of your screen almost ran into Kaiser. He's going to have to work his way through. He does. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and by Honda Generators, the official generator of Racer TV. Well, this has turned into an epic mud race now. Adam McGill out front, the fans cheering him. Nice job, stays up on the pegs to keep the weight low. And actually get better traction on the pegs a lot of times than you can on the seat. I think that's Summers next, and then Don Ackerman coming through in 3rd. Then it should be Kaiser with that fresh helmet. They actually gave him a new lightweight mud-free helmet last time he came to the pits. There's Sturdivant, who was leading earlier, and Boric, who has gone to the back of the train. But in this race, honestly, things could change in an instant. We've seen several leaders. Man, McGill not taking any chances. He hit that valley at about 100 miles an hour to make sure he gets to the top. Same thing with Summers. Nice line there from Ackerman. Summers and Ackerman both GT Thunder Yamaha teammates. Same thing with Kaiser on the Hauser Yamaha. These guys ride, train, and pit together. But they're all chasing after the man in the KTM from West Virginia, McGill, who is yet to win this year. He's been close time and time again. Will today be the day? Ackerman without goggles leading Boric. And then Kaiser, and yes, of course, that fresh, clean new helmet is already covered in mud. Nice try, guys. Then we look at Sturdivant coming through next. Look at how dry it is on the top of these hillsides. It makes it so hard to pick the right suspension and tire combination. A lot of times they'll stiffen the suspension because the machines take on so much weight in mud. They have to compensate. Now Boric challenging McGill. This is going to be good. Let's check out the highlights of our morning race and get back to this. Now these are the guys that got it hooked up right when it's raining and muddy. 4-wheel drive. In the morning race, we run our 4x4 classes, women, super senior, novice, and a whole host of others. The 203 of Buchanan getting a good start here, fighting through the first couple of corners. 4-wheel drive, again, helps out very much. Other 4-wheel drive guys to watch out for, you got Michael Swift in the limited division, Cliff Beasley in the 4x4 lights. But the 203 of Brian Buchanan, he has been the open 4x4 dominator this year. And with 800 cc's of Outlander power. And look at that, the long travel independent suspension. He walked his way at that waterfall like it wasn't even there. Got some other riders coming through here. Scott Kilby, he's followed by the 867. That's Darryl Rath of the factory Polaris, and Rath's teammate, Frankie Batista. Frankie Batista following him. Those guys had a good battle going in this open 4x4 division for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now you see some of the women's class riders. Tracy Checo starting to gain on them. They race combined on overall time to see who the top overall morning rider is, and they also compete in their classes for points. 2:03 of Buchanan, doing his best to stay out front of the mud. There goes Angel Atwell behind the right side of the screen, battling for the lead with Checo in the women's class while they weave their way through the utility riders. And you see a bad line there by Checo, allowed Atwell to get the jump on her. Down to the finish line we go, and Brian Buchanan, solid run today. So Buchanan, your overall winner, that's him in the center. His teammate Swift wins the limited class, and Tracy Checo wins the women's class. She's on the left. Good job, folks. That's fun amongst teammates. Well, here's Taylor Kaiser, who has suddenly put himself into the lead. Maybe that lightweight clean helmet paid off. His way back up to the waterfall. Kaiser going to try to put the finishing touches on this one. He has gotten around McGill. Remember, we saw McGill battling with Boric. Those are the three, Kaiser, Boric, and McGill, who are tussling over the points lead. They've swapped it back and forth several times this year. And lo and behold, they are running 1, 2, and 3 in this one as we see Boric in third. Now, Kaiser, a Floridian sand specialist, and of course he won the Florida race earlier in the year, but if he wins this one, he will prove that he can get it done in the mud. And he looks certainly strong enough to do it right now. Now, interestingly, he is riding a 2008 Yamaha. The factory guys spent the offseason dialing in the 2009. Kaiser said, I don't want to worry about that. I want to run with what I'm familiar with. And how can you argue with the results right now as he's leading the way with Boric in second. Boric switched to Suzuki last year, and it really did take him all season long to get that new machine dialed in. Kaiser, he's on familiar equipment and in a familiar position out front. And Boric run him down? Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, Yamaha, and by Honda Generators, the official generator of Racer TV. Last lap here at the Weekend Warrior Titan GNCC, and the battle is on. Kaiser versus Boric. Boric, a nice line to the inside, could not make the move. How about this? Johnny Gallagher from way back in the pack has climbed up to the number 3 position. We told you he'd be happy about racing in the mud, and it's paying off. And now Kaiser into the number 1 position. I can't even keep track of how many times. They keep themselves clean by going through this water. There's Boric back there in second. And these two are not just battling for the win, but it's a points lead at stake as well. And Boric just grabbed a handful of tree leaves to try to get some dry gloves, or maybe to clean his hands off, but it's too little too late because Kaiser is headed to the pits the last time. He's still got something left in the goggles, just pulled his roll-offs and shakes off his pit. How will Boric play it? Looks like he's still got some roll-off film left, so he's going to go through the pits. Now there is Gallagher on 783, but he is now a lap down. He apparently tangled with McGill, so they have both lost a lot of time. Now only a few miles separate Taylor Kaiser, but he's got to get through those miles and up these hills. And here's Boric keeping him honest. Man, that will do a number on your machine. And look at this, Boric is back to the rear wheels of Kaiser. Maybe I spoke too soon. Boric, can he find a different line? He does. Not going to pay off there, but he's going to give Kaiser everything he's got down the stretch. But Kaiser closing in on his second career GNCC win, and he will take the points lead with this victory. Although you have to wonder, remember, he was off the track on lap 1. Boric in second. Let's talk to our winners.
Yeah, I got off to kind of a bad start today. Ate a lot of mud from everybody there in the beginning. Got stuck twice that first lap real bad and fell way, way back. I was back in Pro-Am, guys, and I just put my head down. I was like, you know, I thought my day was over, and I was like, well, we're going to go out and have fun, at least in the mud. And we started cruising, and I started feeling a little better. I started pushing. I started catching some guys, and I was like, oh, we're having a good time. So I just kept pushing, didn't get stuck the rest of the day. And there towards the end, about the end of the third lap, I was in third place. I got up into third place, and I saw Chris Boric, and I was like, I couldn't believe I was in third, so I kind of backed off a little bit, trying to play it smart and get on the podium again. You know, we haven't been up here much this year, and so I just played her smart there the last lap and ended up on the podium.
Got a good start, probably a top 5, and I knew just coming into today it was just going to be a mess. Just big ruts out there, lines everywhere, and just try to keep it smart and keep smooth. And just try to get on the podium at the end, just try to get back into the points. And I think Adam, I don't know what happened to him, but I think we're probably in second in points now, and looking forward. We're going to Somerset, one of my favorite tracks, rocky and stuff, so we'll get that Suzuki up front.
Oh, we got off to a good start today. I went into the woods in first place. Ran up front for most of the first lap. Got hung up there about halfway through and ended up having to come from the back. But I led pretty much the whole day and was able just to stay consistent and stay out of trouble, keep my nose clean, and you know, I'm really glad to be able to get back up front, get my second win of the year, and hopefully get back in the points lead. I'm not sure where Adam finished, so hopefully we assume the points lead and we can go to the next race and get another win.
Well, bad news for Mr. Kaiser. That off-track excursion on lap 1, they're going to give him a 2-position penalty, so Boric inherits the win and Summers second, and that'll shake up the point standings too. Boric now with a slight edge on Kaiser in the series standings. Kaiser, he admitted they were off the track. He was just following some riders in front of him. That's a mistake you sometimes make when basically in off-road racing, no practice, no pre-running, you're just following arrows. Jerry McClure got the start, but he soon plowed wide in turn 2. That allowed Kaiser to take the lead, but it was up and down after that, all over the place. You had Sturdivant, Ackerman, Boric, Johnny Gallagher, Brandon Summers, Bill Balance, Adam McGill, just you name it, they were in the hunt. And on a rough racetrack like this, every time someone had some momentum going, it seemed like another mistake would sap them. Eventually, Kaiser would seize control of the lead. Boric tried to run him down to the last lap. Kaiser emerged with the victory, but off-track excursion on lap 1 takes a 2-position penalty. That gives the win to this man, Chris Boric, and the points lead as well. Those are your folks on the podium. They're glad to clean up with some champagne. We'll catch you next week.